We turned and ran back into the pressure exchange chamber, the others following close behind. How did you get in that suit with the robot suit on?
What are you doing? Did you forget something?
We're going to go have a talk with somebody.
Who?
You really need me to spell it out? The person behind all this.
You mean Akane?
Holy shit, he knows! What?
I'll take that as a yes. Let me accompany you then.
Wait, why do you know about Akane?
I'll tell you when we get there. Now, if you please. I'm coming with you. You folks just said the magic word.
Ah, yes, Akane.
I'm going too then. So am I. Hey, is this Akane you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I'm glad we're on the same fucking page, I guess.
you know her real well.
Wait, you're serious? What the hell is going on?
Ah, shut up! Just shut up! Come on if you want to! We don't need to do roll call! Once we get there, Akane can explain everything. With that, we headed back through the airlock. Guys? How are you getting through the 9 door? If you recall, it's locked. And the bee garden is pretty far into the facility. I mean, unless Akane wants to just say, fuck it, door's unlocked. What? What? I mean, I guess Akane just decided, hey, fuck the rules, we're gonna leave the door unlocked, I guess. Okay. I guess this is happening then. Guess the lottery game is pointless.
Oh, clever. The number 9 door on floor A is shut forever once the game ends. Assuming Zero Jr. was telling the truth, of course. With the door on floor B.
Oh! Gotcha! Well, that makes things super simple.
Yeah, thought we might be able to take the lift to it, and it looks like I was right.
Whew.
Any idea where Akane might be?
And you couldn't open it from the inside, so the only way would be if someone from the outside came in. Cool. Yeah. The grave.
Wait, you mean the grave in the garden?
Yeah. Don't worry. I don't think she's buried there or anything. Chances are she's alive. Just in the grave. Anyway, let's move. To the garden! B garden.
Is Akane really under here?
Out of pure curiosity, I have no choice. Really? We're still only in there. Huh. Interesting. I think so.
What should we do? Are we gonna dig her out?
No. I don't think we have to do anything like that. You see the keyhole on the grave? If I just insert this here, I pulled the key off my ankle and fitted it into the hole. I twisted it to the right until I heard something unlock. The grave began to shift. Oh.
What is this?
She just... Did Akane cryogenically freeze herself? Or is Zero Senior in there?
It doesn't look like a coffin. Yeah, it's a treatment pod. Oh my god. It is, isn't it?
Well, it says treatment pod across the surface, you tell me. The glass on the cover had frosted over, making it opaque. We couldn't see who or what was inside. What was in it?
Let's see what's inside.
She grabbed a hold of the lever on the side of the pod.
No good. I think it's locked.
What?
Treatment pod TP00. Stage 1 defrosting complete. Stage 2 will be complete in 10 minutes.
Well, I guess we're sitting here for 10 fucking minutes.
Once stage 2 is complete, the lock will automatically disengage.
Right. Cold sleep.
What?
These pods can put people into a cold sleep. It uses something called CAS to freeze human bodies without destroying their cells.
So, Ms. Akane's like an ice cube?
Kinda. I think so.
Then we gotta wait till she melts?
Yeah.
So how about you tell us your story while we wait, Kay? Specifically, why do you know Akane?
Oh, well, you know. She's kind of his mom.
I remembered.
What do you remember?
Everything.
Damn, that was the perfect opportunity to make a music reference. I mean, I guess Kay technically did, but he didn't actually make the reference. Oh well.
I was born and raised in this facility. It's called Rhizome 9. A rhizome is an underground plant stem that spreads by sending out roots.
Okay.
Kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. No, it does.
This facility is a little like a rhizome. Supposedly, that's why they call these installations that. The number comes from the facility's number. There are 54 rhizomes on the moon, and this is the 9th one.
Of fucking course it is.
Well, I suppose the other ones don't really matter to you, do they?
Not even a little bit.
In any event, I grew up here with Akane and Zero Senior. I watched them create the AB project.
The AB project?
Yes. Its purpose is to send Phi and Sigma, or their consciousnesses at least, to the past.
Back 45 years, right?
Yes.
So, you want us to change history, huh? Go back and keep Radical 6 from getting out, and stop the reactors from exploding. That's our mission?
Well, not exactly.
What do you mean?
It's true that the ultimate goal of the project is to keep Radical 6 from spreading to the general population. But even if you do make it back, you won't be able to do much. By now, it's already too late.
Too late?
What do you mean?
Let me begin at the beginning.
Well, yeah, that's usually a good place to start.
You might be thinking that Zero Senior and Akane were the ones who created all this.
No, yeah. Logical assumption.
But that's not entirely correct.
What?
They only followed the histories they'd already seen. It was the only choice they had. Nothing less than the future of mankind is at stake. We need the two of you to jump through timelines while maintaining your memories. That is why you had to play the AB game, and why the chromatic doors were necessary. By forcing multiple options, you could make numerous jumps. We speculated that jumping more would strengthen your memories. The puzzles were also there for a purpose. Some theories hold that a moment of insight when you solve a puzzle strengthens your connection to the fourth dimension.
Yes, because I totally solved all those puzzles without any help. Just insight.
That was the reason for the puzzles. Your infection with Radical 6 was also a vital part of our plan. By slowing down your brain's processing speed, we can store your potential. With that energy stored up, we just had to provide a life-or-death situation to launch your consciousness into the fourth dimension. Like a bullet from a slingshot.
Yes, Akane told us all this. I mean, technically, I suppose this is for everybody else in the room.
Wait. Hold on just a minute here. You keep talking about Sigma and Phi. But what about the rest of us? Why did you bring us here?
That's simple. In earlier histories, you were all here in Rhizome 9. We needed you here to accurately replicate those histories.
What?
Although I suppose that's probably not a good enough explanation for you. In a sense, though, it is the truth. Our primary goal was to replicate history. The rest is... Yes, I suppose I should explain. Very well. I will try and do so in a way you can understand. First, Alice and Clover. They were abducted 45 years and 1 month ago, on December 22nd, 2028. The location is Earth, of course. More specifically, Los Angeles, California.
Huh.
Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
After being kidnapped, your bodies were sent to a facility under Akane's direction. You were placed in treatment pods and immediately put into cold sleep. 4 months later, you arrived at this facility. The date you finally arrived was April 14th, 2029. Your trip from Earth to this facility was aboard a spaceship powered by an annihilation engine. Following your arrival, your pods were placed in long-term storage. Does that make sense?
Are you telling me we were sleeping in those pods here for 45 years?
Apparently.
Yes. In preparation for this day.
But why? What do you need us for?
You are an Esper, aren't you, Clover? I mean that you are able to access the fourth dimension. Am I wrong?
Did Akane tell you?
In a manner of speaking. As I've already explained, the purpose of this project is to send Sigma and Phi's consciousnesses to the past. Espers are able to sort of resonate with one another, which can amplify their power. You understand? This is why we brought you here, Clover.
What about me?
We needed your help, Alice, to deactivate Dio's bombs.
Huh? But I didn't do anything.
But you did. In another history, you were able to perform a prime decomposition on the 25-digit integer that Dio left behind. Only you could do that sort of thing.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
Because of your feat of mathematics, we were able to determine that Dio had planted the bombs. Then we were able to question him and get the password for the number 31.
Also the number 2.
Finally, we used that information to stop the bomb in this timeline. Without your help, Alice, we would have been reduced to nothing more than so much space dust. This history exists because of your presence. Now, let me explain why we needed Tenmyoji and Quark.
By all means, the floor is still yours, Kay.
Tenmyoji is simple. We needed you for the same reason we needed Clover.
Another Esper.
You are able to access the fourth dimension. Almost half a century ago, you used that ability to save a young girl, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
We needed you to resonate with Sigma and Phi, so we brought you here. All it took was a messenger.
Do you want to see Akane? If you do, come with me. I was a fool and fell for it.
And you brought Quark with you. In fact, you insisted that he come.
Yeah, I know. I guess you were worried about leaving me alone, huh? He kept saying he couldn't run off to the moon and leave me behind.
I'm sorry, Quark. If I hadn't been so stupid and selfish, none of this would have happened to you. I never thought this would happen. Can you ever forgive me?
Oh, don't worry about it. I mean, I agreed to come with you. I thought the moon would be way more interesting than boring old Earth.
I mean, he's not wrong.
What kid would turn that down?
We didn't see the messenger after we got on the ship. It was on autopilot. As soon as we got in, and headed straight for the moon. During the trip, Zero told me to keep quiet once we got there. I don't remember anything after we landed.
Then there was a bunch of that white smoke, and we passed out. And when I woke up, I was in the AB room.
Now, Dio. His real name is Left, and he's the leader of a terrorist organization called the Myrmidons.
Who work with Free the Soul? Yes, I know.
He was ordered to come here. The Myrmidons are under the control of an organization called Free the Soul, which is in turn controlled by a man known as Brother. It was Brother who orchestrated the release of Radical 6 into the general population 45 years ago.
Like an asshole.
Do you remember what Phi mentioned earlier? The ultimate purpose of the AB project is to change history and keep Radical 6 from being released. If we succeed, that would be bad for Brother and his organization. Our success would prevent them from creating the ideal world they're working toward. That is why Brother sent Left, his trusted lieutenant, to this facility. They needed to stop the AB project. So, Dio was given two tasks. The first was to eliminate Akane, the architect of the AB project. The second was to join the AB game and win it. If Dio won the game, the AB project would not be completed, at least not in that timeline. In other words, in that world, the project would have been stopped. If things didn't go as planned, Dio was given a contingency plan. If you cannot murder Akane and win the game, destroy Rhizome 9. Hence, the bombs.
Can I ask you something?
Perhaps.
How did Brother know about the AB project?
He was also an Esper.
Oh! Oh, I see!
We can
Fucking
set Brother
Espers.
aside for now, though.
Okay, I guess that'll be a story for another day then.
May I proceed?
Yeah, sure. No one objected. You were all curious.
Excellent. That explains everyone, save two. Luna and myself. Sigma and Phi already know the truth about Luna. I don't believe I should reveal any more, however. I think it would be more appropriate if you could ask Luna yourselves at a later time.
Right, yeah.
Would that be all right with you, Luna?
Yes. That's okay.
As for me, as I said before, I was born and raised here. The rest of you were brought to this facility, but I've never left. That makes me someone close to Zero Senior and Akane.
Hey, I've been wondering, who is Zero Senior?
An excellent question, Quark. My theory of him being Sigma Prime still stands.
You've already met him, Sigma.
I mean, I met a hologram of him.
In another timeline.
Yeah. Well, I saw a hologram. I still don't know who he is.
Stage 2 is complete. TP-00 unlocking.
He's in the cryotube, isn't he?
It looks like it's finished. Shall we open the pod?
Yeah, let's do it. All of us gathered around the pod. The glass was still covered with frost, hiding the contents.
Okay. Let's get started then. Ready?
Phi laid her hands on the lever and looked around at us. I swallowed. Yeah, anytime.
Alright. Here we go. 3,
God damn it.
2, 1.
What? Suddenly, my head was full of memories from the other timelines. I'd seen something like this before. The warehouse of floor B. In front of the white door. Kay was lying in front of me. I grabbed his mask and saw my own face. I'd never figured out who he really was. Why was there a man with my face underneath Kay's armor? It didn't make any sense. After I'd seen him, I was injected with turbocurine, and that was the end of that. But, wait. If the person in the pod was the same person I'd seen on the floor in the warehouse, who was wearing Kay's armor?
You finally noticed. Didn't I tell you? You won't be alone. I will be at your side, watching over you.
No. Oh my god. You're...
Yes, I am.
Akane Kurashiki.
Holy fuck! That suit must have a voice modulator in it or something. The K was for her last name. Oh my fucking god, she played us all! Holy fuck!
It's you. June. I mean, Akane from... But you're old.
Yes, that's correct. I haven't spoken to you in a very long time, Clover. Or you, Junpei.
Junpei?
Akane. Long time no see.
I could barely hear what they were saying. My mind was still reeling. It felt like all the air had been knocked out of me. And it was all I could do not to collapse right then and there. What? Hold on. That means... Kay is clearly two different people then. Kay is both Akane and Sigma Prime clone. The only thing that makes sense. They switched off depending on timeline. Zero Prime clone. Well, is he a clone or is he the first Sigma? Yeah, we're not quite sure who the first Sigma is, so we'll say Sigma clone for now. Sigma clone is K in every timeline that Akane is dead. And every timeline that Akane was not dead, so the last one, she is K. Alright.
When? How long?
Do you remember when the two of you saved me in the warehouse? Once you saved me, you went back to your future. Well, your minds did, at least. I carried your bodies to the 3rd AB room, and then took Dio's to the 5th. After that, I went into the 1st room and borrowed Kay's armor.
So by the time you and Clover came out, you'd already...
Yes.
Wait. That doesn't make any sense. Dio killed you. And then Luna took your body to the 6th room. You couldn't have been in Kay's armor.
No, it was me. In this timeline, at least. In this one, I wasn't murdered by Dio. You two saved me. It's just like Schrodinger's cat.
It's weird to hear it pronounced that way. But okay.
Your actions in the future decided who would be inside the armor in the past.
What? No, that's nuts!
Alright, what about the other history? The one where you weren't saved. What happens then? Who's wearing the armor?
That's quite simple. The man in front of you.
Him?
That's correct. Whenever I'm not in the armor, he is.
So all that stuff about being born here, Akane, that was just bullshit and lies that this clone would have said? And yeah, that was the assumption I made.
What about the memory loss?
For my part, I confess that I lied.
How dare you?
He, on the other hand, was telling the truth.
One of us only tells truths, the other lies.
Large doses of soporil can cause memory loss. I gave him a rather large dose.
So, who is he?
You've never seen him before?
No.
What about the rest of you?
I have no idea who he is.
I've never seen him before.
Me either. Total stranger.